till you die. Life is short, or some may say. What else is there but to rock it away? The lights of the hour, I put in the shower. Never a flop, there's no reason to stop. I got my own guitar, I know the chords. I play my cigar, laying flat on the floor. The east and the west, their battles won't matter. Only the music can settle the score. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turning to bone. So rock till you die. Yeah, bones reflecting my eyes, and when they eat my flesh. But I got the power to win all the hours to rock my life away. The sound of the crowd, the creak of the bone. I play it so loud with my mates or alone. It don't really matter if my world should shatter. I'm holding together in honor to stone. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn into stone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn into stone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn back to stone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn into stone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die.
Hey guys, welcome to the True Blue Riffcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Dave. My name is Christine DeBelle, but many of you know me as Susan from A Talking Cat. And as you know, I have to go and get my cheese puffs out of the oven. So have a great time with Jeremy and Dave. See you soon.
Thanks, Christine. This is the True Blue Riffcast, the number one Riff Tracks podcast in the world. I am Jeremy, and I am joined, as always, by...
What's up? I'm Dave. How's everything?
How's it going, man?
Nothing. Just it's my weekend. The days of the week mean nothing. You know how it is working overnights.
Yeah.
And I was alone in the dark upstairs. Can't go outside because it's way too cold. It's like literally 2 degrees outside. It's February and it's awful. It's terrible. So after I watched the season premiere of Star Trek Picard, and I was like, well, I can't be disappointed enough right now. So I'm going to go ahead and watch Hobgoblins 2 on Riff Tracks. And I had to call suicide prevention after that.
Yeah, we'll definitely be getting into that. We're going to be talking about Hobgoblins 2, unfortunately, today. And I say unfortunately, and I'm really not joking. Because,
we shouldn't be this bummed to have to talk about Hobgoblins 2.
No, I was excited when it was announced. But
I know.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that in a few minutes here. First, though, I would like to take a look at what the hell James Wan is doing Because if you missed it, last week, I think it was, maybe a week and a half ago now, there was
spend 2 hours talking about Birdemic, everybody. Don't worry.
Yeah, not like our last episode. No, we're just going to be talking about the announced box set, the Wings of Disaster, the Birdemic Trilogy box set with all 3 movies on Blu-ray, because they all needed Blu-ray releases. And then apparently there's going to be a standalone Blu-ray through Severin Films, of course. It's Severin Films distributing that. Yeah. For Sea Eagle.
For Seagull.
Seagull.
Cancer and space elevators, and we're all going to die, so just
lots of sex.
Screw you. Screw you. Go have sex and
literally.
die.
Yes. James.
You prick. No.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say you're wrong necessarily, but yeah, there's not.
Are you still mad? Yes, always. It will.
Gee,
no,
are we surprised by this? No.
Always.
It's funny. I brought up our old liner notes for the podcast, and
that we
right
totally
underneath
don't use anymore.
Yeah, right underneath what the hell is James Wan doing? We have our True Blue lexicon listed.
Oh.
And I was going through this, and I had forgotten at least one of these. I can't remember what it's from. It's the Dorkins armor for people who should have died, but I can't remember what movie that's from.
That is from the one where it rains a lot. I think his name is Split Second.
Oh, the Rutger Hauer one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
It was Dorkins armor, or was it like we were debating if it was Dorkins armor or if it was the armor of the guy in Fugitive Rage, where the main character goes and just blows him away in the courtroom at point blank range, and then 3 scenes like, oh, excuse me, and then 3 scenes later he's just completely fine.
Yeah. But then, of course, we have the Copper Mountain effect, where it makes the movie feel a few hours longer than it actually was. I think we might have that
with Hobgoblins too.
Yeah, I think Hobgoblins 2 suffers from that. And then we have the Urkel effect, of course, with the side character taking the spotlight, the Ghost House effect with the weird dubbing, and then the Val Kilmer moment. And I think we all remember. That's for things that blow up in Dave's face.
Yeah.
I think we all remember.
It hasn't happened in a while.
No, it hasn't, thankfully. Yeah, that was, I don't know, still one of my favorite moments on the podcast.
Yeah, it's everyone's favorite moment, except mine. I just didn't know the guy had cancer, and I thought that they were making fun of him for being a bad actor by giving him cancer in the movie.
No, it's just bad assumptions by Dave.
Speaking of bad assumptions,
yes,
did you hear that Twilight? Stephanie Meyer has not released. She's announced that she's doing 2 more Twilight books.
Yeah,
which I'm all for.
I mean, if we can get more movies out of it that Riff Tracks can do, I'm all for it. Not that I think they'd ever be able to get
Twilight as a,
Robert Pattinson back at this point.
Oh no way! It would have to be. They'd have to recast the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't want to think about more Twilight.
Are they ageless?
They're supposed to be.
You don't want to. Dude, I Twilight as a cultural thing.
Yeah.
It's Twilight.
Ooh. Dave, you are breaking up. Just so you know, you're breaking up pretty bad.
There?
Yes, I am. Apparently,
I'm
Dave
breaking
can't
up. I can hear you fine.
Okay, that's good. I think your
I hear
internet
you.
was. I think your internet was dripping again, as Connor said.
You know,
Well, anyway, while Dave's trying to move to a better place on his in his house for some Wi-Fi, I'll go over the weekend box office. Avatar, which last week was in third place, moved back up into second, but is still out of number one. This time it was knocked out by Magic Mike's Last Dance, which actually had a limited release. We at our theater did not receive this movie last week for its opening weekend. Hang on, Dave's trying to get back on here. I'm gonna have to call him back because it's going to my phone, which isn't gonna work. There we go. That's better. Hello, are you back, Dave? Hello. Oh, man. I can't hear you at all, Dave. I don't know if you're there or not. I will try and call you back. Let's see. Let's redial. Is that what you hit? I don't know. I've never had to actually call back during a stream. Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
I don't know what the problem was. I can hear you just fine.
I couldn't hear you at all the last call when you called me back. Anyway, I just started the weekend box office. Magic Mike's Last Dance was number one. Avatar moved back up into second place. And in third place, the other big James Cameron movie, Titanic, which got a re-release for the 25th anniversary. And then 80 for Brady went down to 4. Puss in Boots still in 5th place. And A Knock at the Cabin, which was number 1 last week. That's the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. Has dropped down to 6th place after its opening week.
Somebody's got to stop him.
But Magic Mike...
Somebody's just got to tell him that it's over. You know?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing with M. Night and his movies. They're either really good or they just are awful.
What was the last really good movie he had? Because I can only think of one. I mean, there was one that we like, The Happening.
Yeah, but we like it for different reasons.
Yeah, but like everything else, everything after The Sixth Sense it's just been trash. I can't think of a good movie he's done.
Definitely not The Last Airbender.
I know people like Signs for some reason, but what can you do?
Yeah. But Magic Mike's Last Dance, it was a limited release. Warner Brothers did not send that movie to every theater that they usually would have, and I know this because we didn't get it, and we got lots of phone calls from the ladies who wanted to see it over the last weekend and couldn't, and they were not happy.
Is this Magic Mike?
Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Yeah,
yep. But we got it this weekend.
I don't want to see. I don't want to say that if you go see that movie, you're a disgusting pig. But
thanks for the follow, Loathe Kitty. By the way,
what's up?
We just got a follow from Loathe Kitty, so I was just.
Okay. She came in just in time for me to not say that horrible thing. So what else is up?
Yeah, but that's really it for last weekend. We've got Ant-Man 3 starting technically today, and
I heard that got a negative Rotten Tomatoes score. It's weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I'm not sure how I feel about that because
I also heard that they did Evangeline Lilly super dirty because I saw some pictures of her, and man, she is way prettier than those pictures.
I don't know. I'll be seeing it as soon as possible. I think I have to wait. I don't get to see it for free over the weekend. On opening weekends, we're not allowed to go into the movies because they're usually too busy, which I get. But so I'll probably see it on Monday or Tuesday of next week, depending on what I actually work. Because I don't remember my work schedule past today.
You're a manager. Can I see you? Something? I don't know. I'll do better next time.
Okay, thank you. But let's move on to the meat of this conversation today, which
we have to.
It's pretty fatty and lots of gristle and nothing good to really to get into.
Yeah,
but we're going to talk about Hobgoblins 2, which
I'm very uncomfortable doing this. I'll tell you why. 8 years ago, 8 years ago, I drew a comic called Mystery Science Storybook, and in it there is a parody of Hobgoblins that Rick Sloan actually helped me write. It was very gracious of him.
Yeah,
and he's my friend on Facebook, and he just had treatment for cancer. And we're about to say some pretty bad things about a movie he made.
So it's not personal. It's not anything personal against Rick Sloan.
It can't be.
Yeah.
But I feel like we have to, because this might be one of the worst movies Riff Tracks has ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good chance that's I was gonna wait and say something later, but I'm just gonna say it now because
was this the thing we were talking about before?
Yeah, this I am going to say that this ranks up there with being as awful of a movie to watch through as at least Baby Ghost, possibly Copper Mountain.
I don't know if I would go as low as Copper Mountain. I wasn't I'm with you there on Baby Ghost. Copper Mountain, man, that is harsh. I don't want to wish that on any movie other than Cats. But
it's close. I don't want to wish it on any other movie either, but it's close.
I think we have to be careful with slinging the Copper Mountain, the Copper Mountain label on anything or anybody, unless we have very good cause. I wouldn't even put that onto Oblivion and Oblivion 2.
Ooh.
And you know how I hate those movies.
Yes, I do. I definitely know how much you hate those movies. I don't know, man. This movie was harsh.
Yeah, okay, so do we need, I think anybody listening to this podcast is familiar with Hobgoblins.
Right.
Do we need to do we need to go over what Hobgoblins is?
Other than saying that it was just a Gremlins ripoff, probably not. Like you said, everybody's familiar with it. They've seen the Mystery Science Theater. They've seen the Riff Tracks Live, the full movie from Riff Tracks Live. That, as much as I liked it, did work better as
it does work better as
being
an
cut
episode
down.
Of Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, because we don't get the full.
There's a lot
15-minute rake fight and some of the other more questionable content, we'll say.
Yeah, it's the edits in MST3K did the movie a ton of favors.
Yeah,
I used to say that Hobgoblins is not a bad movie. And then after seeing Riff Tracks Live, I don't say that anymore. I saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
It is a great episode. It is a great episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I'm going to say that I think I'm glad that Riff Tracks had an edited version of this movie. Because...
Yeah. So here's the thing, guys.
Hey, what's up, Hero Squad?
Here's the thing with that. There was, it's not available to buy on Amazon anymore. There was a 1 hour and 21 or 29, somewhere in there, somewhere between 1 and 9, version of this movie that was initially released in 2009 on Amazon.
It's an hour and 32 minutes long.
Okay, so it's standard movie length.
And you can watch it on Vudu or Tubi for free.
I bought that when it very first came out, but I never bothered to watch it. It's not available to buy anymore. But since I bought it in 2009, I still have access to it on Amazon. When this riff was announced, when it was released about a week ago, I saw that it was only 65 minutes long. And I watched the first little bit, and then I switched over to Amazon, watched the first little bit. And the only thing that was they really cut were like all of the opening credits.
But that's just like at the very beginning of the movie. Like,
yeah,
you didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But in the, I don't even want to say theatrical, but in the DVD release, they do all, like, everybody like gets their card at the beginning, like the original Hobgoblins. They cut all that out. The only person who gets like their own credit at the beginning of the movie is Rick Sloan in the Riff Tracks version.
Yeah.
So, so they cut at least 20 minutes out of the movie.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that it's a good thing that they did that. Just because, this movie was bad enough as it was.
This version is also rated, the Riff Tracks version is also rated TV PG.
Yeah. So
I can't really say. I mean, I could go watch the extended version, but I have a feeling that they did take out some adult content.
Yeah. And if you are interested in watching the original full version of the movie, like I said, it's available up on Tubi and the Roku channel and Vudu for free with ads. So if you want to inflict that on yourself, have fun.
Yeah, go do it. Let us know how it goes, because we're not going to do it.
Hopefully, you survive the movie and not, not end things during it.
That's ew.
So Hobgoblins 2 was released, 21 years after? Was it 20?
It was, okay, so the original Hobgoblins, I think, was released in 1988.
88, and Hobgoblins 2 was 2009.
So, yeah, is that 21? Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah. It does look like the original. It's got the same, film quality and everything. But that was apparently intentional. It was filmed to look like the original movie. There was some mostly look-alike actors.
Okay. Okay. That is being extremely generous, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody looks like they did the other characters.
They really they don't even act like the same characters.
Yeah, they don't.
Like the only way, like if you went completely blind into this movie, you'd have no idea what's happening.
Yeah,
and which I guess is fine, because the characters have no idea what's happening either.
Which is interesting, because this is supposed to be a sequel.
Yeah, it's a sequel. It's almost like they did the movie over again.
Yeah,
they didn't do a lot of the fun stuff.
it's really weird, because so this movie has MacReady is locked up in a psychiatric hospital after blowing up the film studio in the first movie. The characters are college students. Apparently, it's a community college, which is, even weirder. But their professor works in this psychiatric hospital, and
you guys, he's an adjunct professor.
Yeah, we've got the. I don't know. Was she a candy striper nurse?
Booberella.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. None of it makes any sense.
None of it makes sense. But they re-encounter the hobgoblins, even though none of them remember the hobgoblins.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. So you think at the beginning, your logic brain, you use your logic brain, and you think like, oh, these guys are going to go visit McCready after. No, that's not why they're there.
They don't know who he is.
They don't know who he is, and he doesn't. They don't recognize McCready. McCready doesn't recognize them.
Yeah.
Okay, which I guess would make sense because none of them are the same actors. But the events did happen because they say that he is in the psychiatric facility because he blew up a movie theater, or not a theater. He blew up a movie studio.
Yeah.
So what he does is he has the audacity to rip off another movie, and like the whole premise of the Hobgoblins is changed.
Yes,
I want to say
it's
Jeremy, take over for me here because I just want to make sure I have this correct.
Well, the Hobgoblins still like make the people like hallucinate things that are happening, but they make the hallucinations real. It's kind of like they pull out their fears. This one is a little more direct in that the way that they have to defeat the hobgoblins is by facing their fears head on. It's really dumb. Like the one character, she's afraid of puppets.
Oh,
and
Daphne?
Yeah, so she ends up like having to confront a bunch of clowns.
Which aren't puppets.
No. They're clowns.
So is she afraid of clowns or puppets? Jeremy, help me out here.
Yes, the answer is yes, Dave.
Is she?
The answer is yes. But this way, in this movie, in order for the hobgoblins to appear, you have to say their name 3 times, just like Bloody Mary, which is brought up toward the beginning of the movie. And, of course, they're just like, yeah, right, hobgoblins, hobgoblins, hobgoblins. Look, nothing happened. And, yeah, it's so dumb. Nick, the army guy, he was dishonorably discharged from the army.
Why?
I'm trying to remember what he said. I just watched this movie like yesterday, and it's
yeah, I watched it. I watched it like 5 hours ago.
It's gone.
Yeah,
he
like your brain puts up a defense mechanism. It's kind of like remembering bad dreams.
Yes,
it's like flush it.
No, he wouldn't like. He was bad in hand-to-hand combat or something. He was too scared. He ran away or something. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, I was in the Army for 12 years. You can be a total coward and still be in the Army. I knew plenty of them.
Yeah. But they all end up facing their fears. They bring back Fantasia again. She was the one
that is strange.
That Kyle called and had the phone sex with in the first movie. And this time it's all like internet based.
Yeah, it's no. Wait. How do they say it? You can tell.
Computer sex website.
He's never looked at pornography on the internet before.
It was a computer sex website.
Yeah,
I
know. Like all your credit card statements say you spend so much time on computer sex websites.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like they're usually a little more discreet.
Yeah, slightly.
And they're all free.
Yeah, it's not amazing.
Yeah, let's not have a discussion about internet pornography on podcasts.
But like when the hobgoblins come after Kyle, Fantasia's mad because his credit card is maxed out, and she starts strangling him through the computer monitor. Which Kevin, I think the main character, the main guy,
Kevin.
He
Kevin.
smashes up the computer, and of course it explodes with some almost James Wenian visual effects over it. But it's not. God, this movie is bad.
I think
bad.
The real the story, and like they don't go to what's the name of the bar?
Club Scum. Yeah.
They don't go to that. They don't really do any of like the super fun stuff that they did in the first movie. Because I don't think they could afford to.
No, they turn on a movie. This is like the main thing that's like outside of this film. It's Hobgoblins 2, which is a low budget sequel to a bad movie that was made like decades later. And that's like what they talk about when they're turning this movie on. And when they start the tape, we get a trailer for a movie called Chainsaw Chicks.
Chainsaw Chicks, yeah.
And you know what? I think I probably would have rather watched Chainsaw Chicks than Hobgoblins.
Yeah, except as they say in one of the guys say in the riff, it's like, oh, why is my chainsaw a hedge trimmer?
Yeah.
So, I think the real problem with this movie is not the puppets. It's not the acting. It's not the bad acting. It's not the fact that they only used one puppet through most of the It's very strange. But I think what makes it
because the original movie had all that too. So
yeah, I think what makes it one of the worst movies that Riff Trax has ever done is the production quality. Because they definitely don't use microphones. It's all I was about to say almost as bad, but as far as just production value goes, it's as bad as Roller Gator.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's.
And can I have one other statement to make too here.
Okay, go ahead.
The Room has more locations than this movie. Because this movie has the
Room goes outside.
It has the hospital. You okay over there? Dave's choking to death, folks.
I'm gonna put you on mute for a second while I cough my lungs up. Sorry. Hang on.
So we've got the hospital, we've got the house, a couple rooms in the house, and the interior of a car, and that's mostly it. That's pretty much every location that Hobgoblins 2 visits. We've got some like 3 rooms, I think, inside the house that we see. And we've got a couple rooms in the hospital, and I think there's a little bit out front of the hospital, like in the courtyard or something. And that's it. That's all we get. The Room had more locations in it than
I think
this
Baby Ghost
did.
had more locations than this.
Baby Ghost, I think they might have used almost that whole building they filmed it in. There's a very good chance that they did. There's something interesting here on the wiki for this movie. Apparently the DVD has a bonus feature called Hobgoblins 2, What Were They Thinking? That has the original cast from Hobgoblins, and they're critiquing the new actors who took their roles. And
why?
Rick Sloan discusses how the film was originally planned to go into production 2 years after the original. And it didn't, but they still just used the same script that he wrote.
Really?
But they did add in a few things like some references to MST3K. because the theme song for this movie was based on the Hobgoblins song that they sing in MST3K. Yeah.
Hobgoblins. That one?
Yeah. But we don't get to see that in the riff because it just starts. I'm assuming it goes over all the titles that were cut off for this release of the movie.
Yeah. This movie was definitely released for Misty's because guess who it was originally released by? Our good friends at Shout Factory.
Yeah, so that, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the only reason this movie got released at all.
Can we talk about the new actors and how none of them are appealing
actors?
Yeah, the new actors. Now, the original actors, I can't, because they weren't that great either. But they were just like miles and miles ahead of these guys.
Oh no!
What?
Okay, so I'm looking on the Wikipedia, and for the cast, like everything's just text except for the Candy Striper. Her name is a link to her Wikipedia page.
Joy Villa. Oh, hang on! Don't tell me. I want to see it. I want to see it before you say anything. Hang on. Clicking. Okay. Is an American singer, actress, and YouTuber. She's a. Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, everyone's entitled to their beliefs.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
That's what she's known for. Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
So okay. Hang on, guys. I just went. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, we can mock her. Okay.
What else did you just see?
No, she's a cute person.
Oh, she's okay. She's Cubert. Got it.
Yeah.
She joined his campaign advisory board too.
Well, and, okay, look, lots of people did. Okay.
Yeah,
lots
but
of people
still
were taken in by that guy. Okay, like we can't really hold that against people, like that specifically. But
yep,
you
QAnon
go
conspiracy.
Q, man, then
you're done at that point. Sorry.
There's nothing I can do for you. Like
maybe that's why she doesn't act anymore, because you know how they feel about Hollywood people.
But the Q people?
Yeah.
I actually don't know that much about Q. I just know that it's insane.
It is insane.
Like anytime somebody explains it to me, it's like when people talk to me about Batman v Superman. It's like I hear them, but it's just like waves and oceans and birds and shit, man. It's just like it just passes over me, and I like don't retain it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move away from that.
Yeah. Let's not. Yeah. Yeah, because we don't judge. We are. That's not what we talk about here.
No, we judge, just not about political stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like whatever you think politically, go ahead and believe it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whoa, is that what they think? No
yes.
way.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. All right. We're definitely not speaking about that.
Yes. So this movie, there's a little bit of meta in it. It's not quite anywhere near as bad as what they did with Birdemic 2.
Yeah. No. Like the rake fight was definitely meta.
Yeah, because he's like, at least he's not making me fight with gardening tools again.
Yeah.
And then he does. And then he's like, no, I don't want to do this. And walks back in the house.
I do think looking at Daphne's butt was very gratuitous. I did not.
Where they got the Girl Scout, or sorry, Sunshine Girls cookies that the girl got scared of and ran away because the hobgoblin showed up. So she just dropped the box of cookies on the porch, and she brought them inside, and Nick started eating them, and she's like, somebody else got some of these, and they were laced with laxatives. And he just kind of looks at it.
Did they say acid?
That was the second one.
Okay.
When what's his name? Kyle was going to start eating them. She's like, those things are laced with acid. This was, right after the gratuitous butt shot where Daphne, like, gets down on her hands and knees on the floor, and she's,
we
like,
see
looking
right
under
up her skirt, which is just like, come on.
Yeah, torn fishnet stockings and underwear. We didn't need that.
Yeah, just like...
We didn't need that, Rick.
Like... Thanks, Rick.
Of course, we didn't need this movie at all, Rick.
It's like, it's getting harder to defend you, Rick. But
the first one was fine enough for what it was.
Yeah.
And then
we didn't
you got
need
this one. No.
Yeah.
This whole sequel was gratuitous.
You could have
almost as bad as that scene. Yeah.
Let's talk about the sound. Okay, well, let's just skip right to the rankings because I think a lot of that I think a lot of the discussion is going to take place there when we rank everything that's going on.
Yeah, let's jump into those. Plot, Dave.
I couldn't detect one. I'm going to go ahead and say 1. I know you might go a little bit higher, but
I'm doing 0.5. Because...
Okay, so I'm doing 1. So amazingly, I bring the score up.
Yeah.
Now, I think where the plot, if they had connected it to the first movie in any way, I think that would have been better. But
all they had to do was say something about how, because they were under Hobgoblin mind control.
Yeah, they don't
during
remember
the whole thing. They just don't remember it. That's all you needed to do. Just literally that would have been enough.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that the entire movie, and we didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised they didn't throw that in there because that's all you needed to do. One sentence. It's just like in what was the movie about Philip Marlowe? The cigarette thing where they were talking about making people smoke in this movie that was in a space station, and they're like, you can't do that because if you tried to light a cigarette, everything would explode and you would all die.
The movie you are referring to is called Thank You for Smoking.
Thank You for Smoking, yes.
Yeah, and the actors that were in that scene were Rob Lowe and Two-Face.
And they literally just had to add in one line about
be like, oh, that's
some piece of technology.
Probably, but it's an easy fix. One line of dialogue. Thank God for the whatever device.
Yeah. That's all they needed to do with Hobgoblins 2, and it would have fixed that, and the plot would have at least been a 2 at that point.
Yeah. So but for future reference, the movie you're referring to is called Thank You for Smoking.
Thank You for Smoking. I just couldn't place the name of it. It's been a long time. That movie came out a while ago, so
yeah, it came out 2006.
Yeah,
back when we were young.
Yeah, younger anyway. All right, acting.
Oh, 0, big fat 0. Because I don't think any of these people were actors.
I don't think they were at all. They just
the most famous one, the only one that has a Wikipedia page, is a Q freak. And she was only in the movie because of her boobs.
Yep.
So
that's it. That's the only reason.
Big fat 0. It would have been better. It would have been better if they'd brought the original cast back.
Yeah, these guys were already in their 30s. These other people that were in this movie cast as the young college students. Just bring the original people back and cast them as college students. It would have been the same effect.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know. It might have been funnier even because I'm sure they're older than the people that were cast in Hobgoblins 2 were.
Yeah, because
it would have been a real how's it going, fellow children type of thing.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Yeah, that would have been funny. And instead, we get these nobodies. Josh
If the
Mills.
cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation can do an entire season when everyone is old and lame and no one wants to see them anymore, here in the year 2023, Patrick Stewart is 80 years old, Jonathan Frakes is 70, Gates McFadden is 70, Brent Spiner is supposed to be a robot, has his face melting off of his skin. He's so old and stupid. He tried to hit on my sister in 2014. That's a real story. But that happened. That happened. I'll tell that story on the podcast someday. When Brent Spiner hit on my sister in 20, I was standing right next to the man. I watched it happen. But if they can do that in the year 2023, then Hobgoblins could have done a reunion movie in 2009.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Our next category is dialogue.
0.
I'm disappointed in you, Kyle. Your credit card is maxed out.
Kyle, okay, you want to know who had like the worst dialogue was Amy, because didn't like in the first movie, didn't she decide that she was gonna not be a prude anymore?
Yep.
And that she was just gonna be a stripper freak and be freaky. And now she has like even more like her dialogue, Amy's dialogue in this. It just makes you want to murder her.
Kevin, they're sitting down to watch the Hobgoblins movie, and Kevin sits next to Amy, and he puts his arm around her, just on her shoulder, and she shoves it off like, "You're not
Like,
getting
what are
to
you
second
doing?
base."
Like, what do you think second base is?
It's not putting your arm around someone's shoulders, that's for sure.
I don't even think that's a base. I think
No.
that's like dugout stuff. You're like, what? You love me?
And that's it's so bad. I keep saying that, but literally everything about this movie is bad.
So I'm giving dialogue a
Cinematography.
0.
The next category, cinematography.
This gets a 0.5. Like,
0.5,
I don't even know
yeah.
why it gets why it gets that, but like there weren't any like creative shots. It just everything was just like static camera. It was so visually uninteresting.
Yes. That was a very big problem with this, is it was very, like, they gave you no reason to be wanting to look at it.
Yeah. It's like Hobgoblins, I think, at least tried to do some interesting stuff with in Club Scum.
Yeah.
You know, they at least did different like shots with like people and their dialogue. like they did basic cinematic language in the first Hobgoblins. With this, it was just like static cam the whole time.
Yeah. And
I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
You're just, when you're trying to forcefully recapture the feel of something, but you don't do it anywhere near as good.
Yeah, this was
and
not.
I'm saying
yeah.
good, like Hobgoblins was good. I mean,
I think
compared
you mean
to this,
fun.
it's
I think that's what you mean.
yeah, that's
Like
what I
this
mean.
movie wasn't fun.
No, it really wasn't. Not like the first one. Well, not like the first one with certain scenes cut down or removed.
Yeah.
Well, we do need to re-clarify that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Editing.
I don't know. I think I might have to abstain because, like, I think we have to see the entire. Like, okay, so if we're going on editing of just a 65-minute version, I don't know, man. Like,
I think
2?
the editing was fine. I mean, there wasn't any like real abrupt like scene changes or where it's like in the middle of a line of someone's dialogue when it just cuts off and we're in another scene.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of that. It was fine. Editing was fine. Uh, here's the next one, Dave. Effects.
There were effects. I don't think there were any effects in this movie.
There were a few. I mean, I would
think
count.
they had a smoke machine.
Well, they had the fake explosion over the computer monitor. There were some car crashes. In this, I think it was all like stock footage for everything that they showed. But and then I think you have to count the puppets as an effect.
Okay, well, let's go 2.
2?
I mean, I am not in a mood to give this movie any credit because it just feels like so. Yeah.
I know you're gonna give this next one a high score, Dave. Sound and music.
I'm gonna look. Okay, the sound is 0. If I could give it negative points for sound, I would. But just like the mic up, that's all you had to do.
Yeah, what are you trying to be, James Wen? Like, come on, guys.
Well, at least this movie had consistent color. Let's I don't think it's as bad as Birdemic 3 in that respect. But...
Yeah. The directing.
Oh, I feel so bad. 1, directing's pretty bad. I think that I think maybe there were. I think, as far as the characters go, the characters of Nick and Daphne were, I think, the closest to their characters in the original.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that Rick Sloan might have just given them a DVD of the original, said, go watch this, and come back and do bad impressions of those characters.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. And I think the only people who did it were Nick and Daphne. And they're just and do bad impressions, and boy did they pull that off.
Yes, they did. They definitely had bad impressions.
Even more obnoxious and just not fun to watch.
Yeah. And that leads us right into the next category, which is the personality of the film itself. Did it have any?
Oh.
The character of the film, the feeling like this. Okay, guys, if you're unfamiliar with this category, for us, it's like, could you tell that the people were having fun making it, or that they were actually really trying to make something good? And just, lacking in experience or knowledge of how to do things better? Or is it just like this movie, where it has no character or personality whatsoever and just falls flat
I
on
think
its
it
face?
does, and I think it does have character and personality, except its character and personality is repulsive and makes me not want to watch it. So, and I hate saying this. Because I am a fan of the original Hobgoblins.
Yeah.
But this was just it feels like a cynical cash grab. Now I know Rick Sloan is a director, and he's got to make money, and this must have seemed like a good thing to do. He knew he could sell a bunch of copies to a bunch of stupid misties who bought it. And hey, guess what? It worked because I bought it. Okay? Yeah. I did. I fell for it.
And this is how you guys can tell that no matter what, we're going to give our honest opinions on something, because, like Dave said, we like Rick. Rick's a good guy, and he's always good with the fans. I mean, when they did Hobgoblins Live, he went to the VIP thing that they do for the Kickstarter backers, and he brought one of the Hobgoblin puppets, and he was hanging out with everybody and just having a good old time. So
yeah, he's a good guy. He
yeah,
just made a shit movie.
He's very much one of the directors who doesn't think too highly of their own work to be able to make fun of it. Like, this is what, the third Rick Sloan movie now that we've gotten through Riff Tracks.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, when all that stuff happened with James Wan, he defended me, and that's why I feel so bad saying these awful things about Hobgoblins too.
Well, I'm sure he knows it's not a very good movie. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure he knows it too. But I just feel bad, because man, it's a bad movie.
When it's somebody it kind of hits a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it sure does.
Yeah. So what do you want to give this film's character and personality?
1. Let's just give it 1.
All of that being said.
Yeah, just give it a 1.
And this movie had some really good riffs in it. Like, there was some stuff.
There were some really great callbacks in this that I
there was
really
something
appreciated.
That was a recent thing too that they made a joke about, and I had just I don't even remember what it was. It was early in the movie, but it hit me because I was like, holy crap, I can't believe that they just made a joke about that. Like, it was something that just recently happened, like within a few weeks, and they put a riff about it in this movie. And but there's some great callbacks to older riff track stuff in here. It's my favorite when they do that. When they either make jokes that pertain to other movies that they've done, or even if it's like the same joke from a different movie that they've done. Both. I love both style of callbacks.
Yeah.
But this movie,
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Is not one that I think we're gonna be rewatching the.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be revisiting this.
It's gonna be it's like Cats. We're not gonna watch it ever again.
Yeah, it's like,
and
I think
probably Copper Mountain.
I think in the pantheon of riff tracks for me, I think Hobgoblins 2. I don't want to put it in the bottom 10, but I think that's where it goes.
All right, I have a new category that I'm putting on our liner notes, and this is kind of a weird category, and I do kind of feel bad making it, but it's riffs to never watch again.
Well, I mean,
we got Cats.
That's
Copper Mountain,
which I've seen twice.
Which I know one of them was only because rewatching it for preparation
for the podcast. Yeah, but I mean, okay, look,
I've got Cats, Copper Mountain, and Hobgoblins 2.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm
gonna feel really bad
around.
about that list, but
yeah. Hobgoblins 2. Yeah, it's bad, but it makes me want to go back and rewatch the MST3K Hobgoblins, just so that I can revisit and kind of put Rick Sloan and the whole experience back over, as we say in wrestling. I'll just put it back over.
Get a better taste in your mouth about the whole thing.
Give it a little, just give it a little redemption. You know, hey, Hobgoblins 2 was terrible. You don't ever want to watch it again, but there's still this great thing that he did for you.
Yeah.
So it's it's going to be fine. It was just a cash grab 15 years ago. It doesn't matter anymore. Riff Tracks did it because, they want to make money too. And, it's fine. It's a thing that happened.
Yep.
But we still it doesn't change this other thing that you love.
Nope. It doesn't change that that's still there and still good. And you should watch the first Hobgoblins. Either version of it is better than this.
That's a top 3 riff of all time, I think, Hobgoblins.
Yeah. Ooh, that's what we should do. I just got an idea. We should go through and make all time, include even the Mystery Science stuff.
Yeah.
Make
you want to do a draft
ultimate
for sci-fi era Mystery Science Theater?
Ooh, Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should do that. We'll do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll do that on
Sci-fi
our next
era
episode, next week.
Yeah, next episode. It's official, guys. Tune in for Dave and Jeremy go at each other's throats, and everyone is going to be afraid that we hate each other, but we really don't. Isn't that so weird? Everybody is so afraid that you and me are going to be mad at each other, except like us.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, like I hope you guys don't hate each other now.
No, it's just temporary anger.
Yeah, temporary for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
When Jeremy
And then we're
steals
over it.
Psychotronic Man. Oh, that's going to be fun. Yeah. So
Yeah,
guys,
that'll be a good one.
next week is the sci-fi era MST3K draft. Dave versus Jeremy.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Real quick, because I forgot to do this at the start of the episode, I wanted to give a couple shout-outs to two people directly related to Riff Tracks.
I'm going to put you on mute for just a minute.
Yeah. Janet Varney and Peter Hunter are both celebrating their birthday today. So, happy birthday, Janet, and happy birthday, Peter. Two people that Riff Tracks wouldn't be the same without overall. Definitely not. But, yeah, that's... I think that's going to wrap us up. Oh, we do have our last question, but I just got to wait for Dave to come back off mute here. Because we always have to ask this question when we're talking about Riff Tracks. Okay, Dave, I don't know if you heard Peter Hunter and Janet Varney are both celebrating their birthdays.
I did
today,
hear that,
so
yes.
give them a shout out. Okay.
Happy birthday, guys.
So the last question, the last thing for Hobgoblins 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I already know the answer to this. Dave, would you watch the movie Unriffed?
Well, here's the thing. I've owned it for 14 years.
and never watched it.
And I never watched it. So I can't say that I would, and I don't want to.
Yeah, I definitely do not want to go back and rewatch this movie without the jokes. It was hard enough to make it through with the jokes. I mean, compare it to whatever your least favorite Riff Tracks release is, and it'll probably be on the same level of that.
It's like for me this is like Copper Mountain and Things and Cats. It goes in that category where I experienced it. I don't ever want to experience it again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, these do happen from time to time, and I think this one hit harder because we were both so excited for it.
Yeah, we both wanted it to be like great, but ended up being like a baby ghost type situation.
Yeah, which again, it's that same level of disappointment, something that we were so looking forward to, and then it just we got it. It's just like, oh, this was bad. Yeah, wasn't great, guys. Wasn't great, but that is going to wrap things up for us today, mostly because I have to start getting ready to go to work.
Okay.
But if you enjoyed the podcast, the best way to support us is right through Twitch, which a lot of you are going to be watching this on. It's actually doing okay, like in some of our replays for this, just to touch on that with you, Dave. And yeah, you can subscribe right here, or you can drop some bits or whatever. And if you want to follow the podcast over on Twitter, you can at TBRiffcast, and I'm at PB and Awesome like everywhere else. So,
and you can check me out on Twitter at DChadwickAuthor, and I'm on the internet at DaveChadwick.info. Check out all my books and audiobooks on Amazon and Audible. And I'm probably going to start writing my next book here pretty soon. I have pretty much everything I need.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's going to be a thing.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for today. Let's just hop over to the Riff Tracks channel here. And we will see everybody next time as we do our sci-fi era MST3K draft. Right here on the True Blue Riffcast.
Rock till you die.